because I have the schools and I also have outreach efforts. So, for example, today we've had some emails that came out, that kind of got sent around the area. Um, Threatening emails to the schools. So it really involves me working with our public school system, and working with the other jurisdiction that's involved as well. Obviously, tracking down where these threats were coming from, working with the school system, uh, assuring everyone that the kids are safe within our school system. And then on the other side, because we have outreach efforts, we also will work with a lot of our outreach efforts are actually focused on our youth. So for example, we have what we call in Newport News the Young Adult Police Commissioners Program, and these are high school students from all of our 6 high schools that literally come to us once a week for 2 hours, and we basically just meet with them and we show them various things with our police department. So yesterday we actually had our YAPC kids come, and there's actually 40 of them this year in our program, which is the highest number we've ever had. And we took them out on our Marine Patrol boat. So we had to do 2 different rides with them because we couldn't fit all of them on the boat at one time. But yeah, we took them down to our marina where the boat is docked, and we took them out on a ride on the James River. And I could tell by their reactions. I'm like, well, we're gonna have to do a boat ride for every class coming up with YAPC. But yeah, these kids stay with us the entire school year. And every week they're meeting with us, learning about us, and really what it's about is understanding that we are people as well. And so they get to see who we are behind the badge, but they get to learn about the police department and what we do. And we get to do the same with them. We get to learn what it's like for a high schooler now, what they're dealing with, what their concerns are. And so it really is a good program for us to bridge the gap between us and the community. So that's what my day could look like. Is I might start off with some type of actual law enforcement problem, but then by the end of the day, I am connecting with the community through one of our programs. So SWAT can be very high stress, right? I mean, we definitely had some scenes where I really, really thought that at any point, somebody, whether it was us or one of the people involved, unfortunately could possibly lose their life. And they were very high stress scenes. And really, um, it does teach you to sometimes slow everything down and really think through all the different options and things that could happen, and have a plan after the plan, right? Have A, B, C, and D lined up, right? And then if it ends up that you go with option D, then what if something else happens from that? So in the highest of stress scenarios, it kind of teaches you to really just still think everything through. And so now with all the other scenarios that we deal with in law enforcement, I do still remain fairly calm with everything. And kind of like okay, hold on, let's take a breath and let's think this through, slow it down, and let's come up with a plan. Now granted, that can't always happen. If there's an active shooter situation, you have to immediately go. But yeah, it did teach me really to really slow it down, think about all the different options, and always have a plan after the plan. Well, one is to just try. If that's what you would like to do, is to seek out promotion, you have to put in for it to begin with. I think with our females, they think, well, I need to do this, this, and this before I'm ready to do it. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that you should try to run your horizons. So, I look back at my career. I did 7 years in patrol. I loved every minute of it. Um, But it did also help that I was kind of in one precinct and I'm like, you know what, I think I need to try a different precinct. And it was a different experience. It was patrol, but it was a different part of the city, you know. Um, so I would say try new things. So put in for different spots, whether it's detective or recruiting or a different secondary assignment such as crowd management unit or SWAT team or whatever it is. So try to kind of broaden your horizons and get experience with various things, because the reality is when you promote is you're going to end up having a mix of administrative and the actual tactical functions of this job. So when you're in patrol, a lot of it tends to be the actual, like I said, on the street tactical functions, and of course there is paperwork and admin with that. Um, but you do need to get experience in various different aspects of this job. So when I became, a sergeant, and I was a patrol sergeant, it was very comfortable for me because that's what I had known. And then they moved me to recruiting. And I was like, I have no idea about recruiting. It was brand new for me. And I absolutely loved it because I got in there and it was just something totally different. And I was just learning all these new things. So the other thing about it is even if you think, well, this is what I would like to do, and I'd like to be here and I'd like to be there, even if you were to be moved into a unit that you didn't think that you would enjoy before, you would probably be shocked at how much you might end up enjoying an assignment that you never thought that you would do before. So that was the experience I had with recruiting. And then right now I'm in community and youth outreach. Um, I was never a school resource officer. I was never a supervisor in this unit. I was never a lieutenant over the unit. And I never really did much of the outreach either. So this was even a brand new experience with me. And I've been in here for about 14 months now, and I'm still learning about how this unit operates. But I also love this too. It's a whole different, ball game for me in this unit. Um, so I would say, yeah, don't be afraid to broaden your horizons with the different, you know, jobs and assignments you can have in law enforcement, and then put in for it, just try. And even if you don't get it the first time, you're always learning with every attempt that you do. So even if you don't get it that first time that you put in for the promotion, okay, learn from that experience and put in again if that's really what you want. Um, I didn't make the SWAT team the first time. I didn't make sergeant the first time. I didn't make captain, or I'm sorry, lieutenant the first time. And I didn't make captain the first time either. I've had to put in repeatedly, and every time I learned something. I learned something every time from putting in for those spots. You can always self-reflect and also get feedback from other people, right? And even when I did not make captain the first time, I asked to have a meeting with our chief, and I asked him, what do I need to work on? What else can I do? And he gave me feedback. So don't be afraid to ask people that know and have that knowledge. Hey, I would like to get to this position. What can I do now to start prepping myself to get there in the future?